Hello everyone. Let me copy and paste my links. Just tell people I'm live. Final, the final part been working on. Alright, posting the X, now doing blue sky. Let's do blue sky. Do, 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 do. Alright. Sweet guys, how y'all doing? I'm ready to start talking. Alright, let's go, let's go, let's go. What's up, guys? Hello. So, this is the part 7, the fifth and final part of, I think, yeah, it is. Um, Doing a part called The War on Drugs is a Lie, and this is part 7. And I'm reading from this pack of 36 cards, Drug Wars trading cards. We've got 5 left to do, guys. And so, if you're new here, the war on drugs it's a lie. It's rooted in racism, guys. It's just an excuse to lock the working class up, especially black people, people of color, and the CIA. They know everything. They know all the drug routes. They're the ones that are flooding the streets with drugs all across the globe, especially the United States. And they trade drugs, guns, funds with right-wing extremists, the most right-wing nutcases you can possibly think of, as long as they're going to take down any revolutionary movement, anybody on the left, communist, socialist, to prevent anyone from, sorry, the cat's walking across the desk, to prevent any movement that will cut into corporate profits, pretty much, and to keep capitalism safe. That's who the CIA cozies up with, and the war on drugs is a scam. The excuse me, the quality, the amounts on the streets are higher than ever before. They're cheaper than ever before, and yeah, and that's what we've been talking about, guys. I've been uploading everyone to my channel recently, and this is part 7. So let's start with this is card number 32. Fawn Hall tells all. And on the back it's titled Crimes and Misdemeanors. These are really neat, guys. Check out that artwork. I love this stuff. So Fawn Hall tells all. Let's read card number 32. Fawn Hall recently admitted to Drug Enforcement Administration sources who interviewed her during a drug investigation in Washington, D.C., that while serving as Oliver North's personal secretary from 1985 to 1987, she was a weekend cocaine user. Oliver North was the Reagan administration's point man in aiding the Nicaraguan Contras, one of whose leaders, Arturo Cruz Jr., was dating Hall at the time. Wow. As is now known, the Contras and their American handlers were up to their necks in cocaine smuggling. Sorry, my cat is knocking down my earphones. Though North was never prosecuted for his part in the drugs for guns conspiracy, he was convicted on lesser charges and sentenced, ironically, to spend 1,000 hours educating teens on the dangers of drug use. Compare this to the case of Washington, D.C.'s black ex-mayor Marion Barry. Barry was arrested on January 18, 1990, after being lured by an ex-girlfriend to her hotel room, where hidden video cameras recorded Barry smoking crack cocaine supplied by the FBI for the sting. The 51-minute tape shows that the woman coaxed Barry into lighting up while spurning his sexual advances. Barry's lawyers claimed that their client had been an FBI target for 8 years, during which time agents went through his credit and credit card bills, staked out his house, monitored his bank accounts, and checked his tax returns. And, moreover, that the government had spent $40 million over a 10-year period for sting operations against other black politicians like Julian Bond and Andrew Young. Though the jury found Barry guilty of only one misdemeanor charge, His public career is ruined, while North does GOP fundraisers and sells bulletproof vests, and Hall is training to be a newscaster. Wow, dude. So Fawn Hall tells all. So white people doing cocaine, man. And what did we talk about in the part one of the War on Drugs series? Um, so crack cocaine, it was flooded in working class neighborhoods. Kind of Los Angeles South Central was the most notable one, guys. Completely destroyed people's lives. And with the crime bills being passed, they prosecuted crack cocaine so much heavier than a cocaine user, which is way more expensive. Crack cocaine is, easier to make, cheaper to obtain, and easier to buy. So, you got a white woman here, just, yeah, I did cocaine on the weekends. Nothing happened to her. Oliver North, guys, he's the guy he's flooding the streets and trading arms and guns with the Contras. So what is he gets a slap on the wrist and he's on Fox News doing shows. Rich as fuck, dude. So yeah, that is card number 32. Let's talk about card number 33. Card number 33. Danny takes a toke. And I don't know, my camera's like, you can tell his eyes. Yeah, you see his eyes. His eyes are all red. Cool artwork again, like I said. On the back, it's titled Dan Quayle's Smoky Trail. Let's read. During the final weeks of the 1988 presidential campaign, federal prisoner Brett C. Kimberlin called several reporters, alleging he had smoked marijuana with Dan Quayle at a 1971 frat party and had sold Quayle pot 15 to 20 times over the next year. 4 days before the election, on the eve of a press conference, Kimberlin was placed in detention and barred from talking to reporters. On election night, while reporters awaited his phone call, Kimberlin was again sequestered. A Bureau of Prisons director, J. Michael Quinlan, claimed he did this to protect Kimberlin from fellow prisoners. But Quinlan's contacts with the Bush-Quayle campaign team days before the election leave no doubt the story was squashed for political reasons. Since the 1937 Marijuana Stamp Act made it illegal, marijuana has been classified like heroin as a Schedule I drug with no medicinal value, despite therapeutic uses known for 150 years. Marijuana relieves symptoms of glaucoma, restores appetite, reduces nausea, and is especially effective in treating AIDS in cancer patients for side effects of chemotherapy. As a recreational drug, it is less dangerous to the user or society than alcohol and far less addictive than tobacco. Marijuana use can impair short-term memory, and daily users are often poor students. The same could be said for watching too much TV. Marijuana fiber, known as hemp, is not a drug, and until it was banned, it was important to industry. Hemp is the strongest, most rot-resistant natural fiber known, and makes a superior rope, twine, and cloth. It is 4 times more productive per acre to grow hemp than pulpwood trees for making paper. The Declaration of Independence was written on hemp paper. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool, huh? Yeah, that was Danny Takes a Toke, guys. So, guys, yeah, why is alcohol legal? Um, that destroys people's lives way more than marijuana. People drive drunk. The car's a weapon. It kills people, gets people injured. It destroys families. Alcohol does. It causes like domestic violence problems, bar fights, and I can't imagine what it does to your brain. But yeah, that's why alcohol is legal, and I know marijuana is starting to become legal in some spots. But yeah, all right. I had a conservative friend and was like, "Yeah, man, anybody that does drugs, like, get them thugs off the streets." And it's like, dude, like all those musicians you listen to are all on drugs. That's how they get like their inspiration or whatever. Plus, like, alcohol is a drug. Where's your outrage about people drinking and driving and drinking too much and blah blah blah. But anyways, let's not get sidetracked. All right, card number 34, guys. Operation Green Sweep. Zoom out there. Gotta be a army men fighter here. Operation Green Sweep. on the back it's titled Marijuana Wars. So let's talk about this. The U.S. is the second largest producer of marijuana in the world after Mexico, growing 10 million pounds a year worth $4 billion, enough to supply 35% of the consumption of America's 10 to 20 million marijuana users. Some of the highest quality marijuana is grown in the so-called Emerald Triangle, Humboldt, Mendocino, and Trinity counties in Northern California. Since 1983, the state's campaign against marijuana production, CAMP, C-A-M-P, has conducted military-style sweeps of the area, seizing more than $2 billion worth of plants in 7 years. The result of camp raids have been a tripling of the price of California homegrown. Finding it possible to make the same profit growing much less, California's pot farmers have moved their operations indoors. The state's marijuana industry has thus become decentralized and almost impossible to detect. In the summer of 1990, for the first time ever, federal troops, 200 National Guardsmen, and Bureau of Land Management Rangers conducted a marijuana raid dubbed Operation Green Sweep in a federal conservation area called King Range. The troops confiscated 1,408 immature plants worth no more than $2 million. 17-year-old Blossom Edwards encountered silent camouflage troops on a hiking trail near her home. All their automatic weapons were pointing at me. I yelled. I tried to get them to talk. They wouldn't lower their guns. On August 9, 1990, local residents filed a $100 million lawsuit claiming that federal agents illegally invaded their property, wrongfully arrested them, and harassed them with low-flying helicopters and loaded guns. Dang, man. So y'all can Google Operation Green Sweep. I'm not making this stuff up, man. These cards are very informative. What a waste of tax dollar money, guys. They're just running out. It's like a playground for. Let's just make up an operation to get some armed guys out there. Let's practice. Let's use our helicopters. Let's use our new toys. Let's go harass some people. So, complete waste of everyone's time. Should be making marijuana legal. And okay, so next card, we got two more to go, guys. This is card number 35. Front is titled New Drug Czar. New Drug Czar. Zoom in there. Bam. Bob Martinez. Let's read. William Bennett's resignation as drug czar in November 1990 and his replacement by former Florida Governor Bob Martinez was accompanied by much ballyhooing about the progress made during Bennett's 2 years at the post. The government claimed that under Bennett, cocaine use had shrunk to a mere 660,000 hardcore abusers. Early in 1991, however, drug officials added 1 million users to this estimate, saying that previous figures had failed to count users in colleges, high schools, and jails. During Bennett's term, heroin use actually rose, and drugs entered the U.S. in record amounts. Bennett's failure to curtail drug imports is linked to the Bush administration's refusal to enact sanctions mandated under a 1988 federal law against 20 countries, including Panama, Hong Kong, Colombia, Canada, Italy, and Australia, and who have not reached agreements with the U.S. to curb money laundering. As for new drug czar Bob Martinez, his best credentials may be that his failed 1990 re-election campaign was managed by the president's son, Jeb Bush, and that he hails from Florida, America's drug import capital. For years, CIA trained Bay of Pig veterans like Frank Castro and Armando Lopez Estrada used Florida as a base to mount terrorist attacks against Fidel Castro and Latin American leftists, while other CIA-trained Bay of Pigs veterans like Juan Restoy and Mario Escandar, who had risen to power through the Traficante mob, financed these operations with narco dollars. The money was often laundered through the World Finance Corporation, owned and operated by Bay of Pigs veteran Guillermo Hernandez Cortaya. Did I say that right? By 1991, Miami had become Wall Street for the international narcotics trade. So, there you go, guys. card number 35. Yeah, in an earlier version, um, they they were just trying to run drugs all through Cuba, and they were before Castro got there, guys. I forgot. His last name is Batista, and he was a butcher. He was an ultra capitalist. The U.S. let him run amok with gambling, drugs, prostitution in Cuba, and that's why um, you shouldn't demonize Fidel Castro, guys, because he kicked all those greedy capitalists out of there, all the corrupt politicians, all the corrupt people. I'm drinking a half calf Americano, trying to cut back. All right, guys, this is the final card in the deck, titled Up in Smoke. I won't show too much of that because, I mean, there's a leaf over their crotch. You can't see nothing. But I'm streaming across on 4 platforms. Somebody's going to get mad, I bet. I probably should have done that. This is titled Up in Smoke. Let's read. George Bush's drug war has created a domestic climate hostile to the spirit of the Bill of Rights. In 1989, then drug czar William Bennett advocated beheading drug dealers, an interesting take on the Eighth Amendment's protection against cruel and unusual punishment. In 1990, Attorney General Richard Thornburg authorized the impairment of drug defendant Manuel Noriega's savings, making hash of the Fifth Amendment's ban on seizure of property without due process of law. Even more troubling is the attack on the Fourth Amendment's guarantees against unreasonable. Oh, I'm raising the card up. Hold on. Even more troubling is the attack on the Fourth Amendment's guarantees against unreasonable search and seizure. Led in 1989 by the Department of Transportation's mandated drug testing of private employees. With the specter of stoned pilots plummeting to Earth with human cargoes in tow is an arresting one, it has little basis in reality. From 1987 to 1988, the Federal Aviation Administration conducted random drug tests. Of 20,000 workers tested, only 118 turned up positive. None was deemed a public hazard. Most were cited for off-duty use of marijuana, which is detectable in the bloodstream for weeks. A 1989 poll found 62% of Americans willing to give up a few of the freedoms we have in this country to support a war on drugs. The anti-drug hysteria that led to this dangerous shift in public mood is linked, ironically, to the failures of the Bush administration's drug policies. By ignoring the influence of poverty and racism on drug abuse, by relying on imprisonment instead of treatment, and by implementing a foreign policy willfully blind to the depredations of the international narcotics trade, Bush's drug warriors have seen to it that they will be gainfully employed for years to come. That was card 36, Up in Smoke. So, I really like that last part, guys. We need to definitely put more money into drug treatment, drug rehabilitation, and not demonize people that are addicted to drugs. But there you go, guys. That was part 7 of The War on Drugs is a Lie. You can find all 7 on YouTube, and I think they're all on X too, but it's hard to search there for them. But what do you guys think of the series? If you have any questions, concerns, let me know. But it's like, it's hard to say what to do now, guys, because, okay, so in Prohibition in the, what was it, the late 20s, they made alcohol illegal. What happened? Crime went out of control. The mobsters went nuts, bootlegging liquor and alcohol, right? So, you know, with if should we legalize all drugs, cocaine, heroin, etc.? Um, will it get crime off the streets? The thing is, like, okay, alcohol and tobacco are legal, but think of how many people are killed by just those two alone. The numbers are freaking outrageous. Like tobacco, not just getting killed, but like health issues, lung cancer, and alcohol. I mean, we already talked about what it does to people, what it does to families. But liver disease, cirrhosis, what it does to your brain. Um, So it's like if you're gonna legalize all drugs, the usage will go up. But will people just get bored? Do we do classes? Do we teach people the dangers and we're gonna be fine if we legalize all drugs? It's a what do you call it? A two-headed sword? Two-headed snake? Forgot what it's called. But that's my question to you all. Should we legalize all drugs? I think we should, but just really just have a ton of classes, guys. Teach people when they're young, and maybe have a lot of just you know fund hospitals more money to healthcare, and less money to police. But I mean, obviously you would want to take down like the CIA and what they're doing with drug trafficking, but it's like, dude, that's so powerful. They're never gonna stop, and we're not really gonna take them down. So that's ideal, right? So just stop all the planes and boats that are coming in. So, I think that's all I want to say about that. So, um, if you guys are new here, Game.film, I play games, I stream them, but then I also review movies, talk movies. But I'm anti-capitalist, anti-imperialist. I like and have fun, stay informed. That's the shtick kind of thing. And I just want y'all to know what our government, the United States government's really up to. I want y'all to know where our tax dollars are going, how the two-party system, the duopoly, Democrats and Republicans, that's a lie. I hold them both accountable, both parties. I talk shit about both. And we don't play that blue team, red team shit here. So just want to let y'all know that. So if that's y'all's cup of tea, you want to talk some conspiracy theories, which are almost always true. Rich people conspire all the time, guys. Like if you see teachers talking with each other to get better pay, they're conspiring. So yes, like the ultra rich conspire every day of our lives. So conspiracy theories are not a bad thing to talk about. What else? What else? What else? Yeah, guys. TikTok, Blue Sky, X, Twitch, YouTube. I'm on Letterbox. So give me a follow, guys. But that's it for today. I'll see y'all.